Let's talk about VLANs and why they should matter to you as a controls professional. So, as I said, this is a VLANs explanation from a controls guy. So please, network people, if I misspeak on something, please feel free to technically correct me how it's supposed to be done. But, so I've seen this in data center controls. So let's say I have a network switch like this. And let's say all my electrical switchgear devices, I'm going to put them all in VLAN 200. So it's going to be, and let's say the protocol is going to be Modbus. So I expect all my Modbus electrical switchgear communication to be in VLAN 200. Now let's say that I have VLAN 201, which is going to be for my HVAC BMS equipment. So let's say it's all, let's VLAN 201. So what you can do to this on the network switch is you can logically split up the switch. So let's say ports 1 through 24 are all going to be configured for VLAN 200 for those physical switch ports. And let's say ports 25 to 48 are going to have VLAN 201 for my BMS backnet communications. Does that make sense? So you're splitting up a switch logically without having to have two separate physical switches. Okay. Now, let's say another thing with the VLANs. There's something called trunking, where you have to have the trunk configured on the switch side and then the trunk configured on the other end of the wherever that switch is going to, the trunk. So there's that. And then also there's something called VLAN tagging. So when I plug in an electrical switchgear device into port 2, for example, when that packet travels into the switch, it's going to add a VLAN tag to it to make sure it gets sent to the right VLAN 200 trunk. Okay, so let's say I get a new BACnet BMS HVAC device for communications. If I plug it into ports 1 through 24, it's not going to work because it's on the wrong VLAN. So this is something you can run into when you're setting up a device for the first time. If you don't have the right VLAN configuration, it's not going to communicate. So they're hard to track down without a link runner.